global impact. Born in Galle, Sri Lanka, Athula's passion for chemistry began at Mahinda College and took him to the universities of Peradeniya and Colombo. A UNESCO scholarship then brought him to the Tokyo Institute of Technology, which broadened his scientific outlook. His arrival in 1980 at Keele for his PhD under Professor David Morgan was transformative. Athula recalls with great fondness the unique sense of community at Keele, the simple pleasures of 10 a.m. tea breaks, when the entire department would pause and come together, as well as afternoons playing cricket for the staff team, but most of all, the long, long hours spent in the lab, often late into the night. His doctoral research on ant pheromones, measured in nanograms, was groundbreaking and helped lay the foundations of modern chemical ecology. Following Keele, he received a prestigious Humboldt Fellowship to continue his research in Germany with Professor Hans Bessmann, before moving on to academic roles at the universities of Houston, Cornell, and now at Stevens Institute of Technology in New Jersey. Using mass spectrometry, he has decoded the chemical signals insects use to communicate and defend themselves. His work identified key compounds used by moths, butterflies, and beetles, including the sex pheromone of Tuta absoluta, a tomato pest whose control strategies in South America now rely on his discoveries. In 2021, he won the Arnold Berliner Award for revealing the secret behind the bombardier beetle's boiling hot toxic spray, which is produced and ejected within seconds. His work overturned decade-old theories by mapping the beetle's defensive chemistry with accurate precision. He also invented helium plasma ionization techniques, which earned him the Inventor of the Year award in 2014 and an Edison Patent Award in 2017. And he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry in 2019. Now a global authority in his field, Professor Atagai has published over 250 peer-reviewed papers, including 35 with his Keele mentor, Professor Morgan. One of their joint publications has been cited nearly 300 times, a mark of its significance. Beyond the laboratory, Professor Atagai's life reflects rich cultural diversity. His wife Miho is from Japan. Their son Sunath was born in Germany, graduated with a distinction from Cornell, and now works as a physiotherapy doctor in California. Their daughter Angela, born in New York and schooled in Sri Lanka, graduated from Oxford with a master's in chemistry and now contributes her expertise in Japan. Vice-Chancellor, Professor Atagai's life and career are a shining example of the global reach and enduring value of a Keele education, which has been marked by scientific excellence, innovation, and a deep sense of community. On behalf of the Senate, I present to you Professor Athula Atagai to be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
Professor Athula Atagai, by virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. many, many congratulations.
Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, family, and friends. It's with deep gratitude that I accept this award of Doctor of Science honoris causa from University of Keele. This is an honor that is not only personal, but a profoundly meaningful one, because it brings me back to my very roots of my scientific journey. Keele has always held a very special place in my heart. It was here that I first encountered the power of interdisciplinary thinking. At Keele, I discovered that chemistry, biology, ecology, and curiosity could all come together to decode this secret language of nature, particularly that of insects and spiders and beetles. My research had focused on this interface of analytical mass spectrometry and chemical ecology. Two fields at a glance seems like unlikely companions. Yet, when combined together, they allowed us to listen to these inaudible chemical messages that shapes how insects and other organisms behave and communicate. I once remember saying somebody going into a jungle and everybody said, "See how silent it is." I said, "It's very loud, only thing is we can't hear. They're talking all the time." So I must confess, this journey did not begin with modern tools, what we have today. Over 40 years ago, there were no computers to control instruments. Data were recorded on chart paper using moving ink stylus. And mass spectra appeared on photosensitive paper. And we had to measure the peak sizes with a foot ruler and write down on a notebook before the whole images would disappear by tomorrow. That's how it was. And we had no personal computers. We had only mainframe computers. I was privileged. I could write my thesis using mainframe computer. But I still remember receiving a very stern note from the director accusing me of abusing the system for storing 3 pages of document space in the computer. So that's how it was. This was very challenging, but it taught us something, to become masters of our instruments. Very often these days, you become slaves. So when you are the master, you have no problem in opening up the screwdriver and getting to learn the system well. That's very important, and that nurtures the resilience, the resourcefulness, and deep respect to both to the instrument and to your own work. So I should also say, whatever I have contributed to science has never been mine alone. Science is a collective endeavor. So I should also thank several of my mentors, particularly Professor David Morgan, here at Keele. This is where he shaped me to my scientific purpose. That's so important. And then later in Germany, Professor Hans-Jürgen Westmans, who taught me synthetic chemistry, and then I ended up at Cornell with two very leading chemical ecologists, Professor Gerald Meinwald and Thomas Eisner. They were pioneers and inspired not only me, but generations of students. So I am very, very thankful and grateful to all these people. So I want also to thank Charles Schaefer School of Engineering and Science at Stevens, where I had the privilege of mentoring many graduate students and pursuing independent research. So, and also all the collaborators and colleagues who helped me to achieve this combined achievement in the end. Most importantly, I also want to thank my wife, Miho, and our children. With endless love and patience, they endured my long hours and late nights in the laboratory, and this honor is as much as theirs as it is mine. So my message to students and early career researchers here is never underestimate the value of careful work. Not all discoveries arrive with celebration. Some begin with faintest peaks on a graph or little thing, on a chart paper or a data set. But when explored with care and imagination, even the smallest contribution can illuminate something vital, something we didn't know before in the natural world. So stay curious and stay rigorous. That's my only advice. Finally, I must confess that this recognition feels less like a milestone and it's more like a homecoming. So thank you for this honor and this role you played in setting me on the path. So I accept this award not as a conclusion but as a reminder to remain curious, to mentor other people with generosity and always listen closely to chemical whispers of nature. Thank you very much.